Okay, let me kick this one off with the truth be told and just say that I had probably been home not even 2 minutes, certainly not five, when I made that previous take of this video this year, unboxing of sorts of the 1962-63 WHL season with the game Paradise Hockey. So I had some thoughts after making and uploading that video, and I thought, why don't I try another take? And of course, I may or may not actually upload this take. And if so, sorry if it annoys anybody if I take down the previous take and then go with this one. But I just really feel like I could do a better job with it. I feel like, now I've had a moment to sort of sit and catch my breath and relax and kind of gather myself. And have a few more sips of this as well. And, trying to get my second win here late in the evening on Friday night, as the, weekend commences. But um yeah, so and of course I'm also going to try to recall everything that I said in the initial take in case I do end up wanting to keep this one because there's certain things that I said in that one that I don't want to leave out. But I would like to begin by shouting out and thanking Andy Lewis, first and foremost, because this is on his site, Flipper Heaven, and it has all kinds of card flippers and die rollers for hockey and other sports. And he is somebody who, as I said in the description to the initial take of this video, and I think that's, it's a good word for it, is just that he has contributed to this community immeasurably. And I also said that there are some people in hockey that I really look up to, that I really admire, who might never even have laced up a skate before ever. So, and he may or may not be one of them. Actually, I don't really know him personally. So, but I do nonetheless admire him for all that he's done. And really, I mean, he's benefited, whether all of the players realize it necessarily or not. I mean, he's benefited the quality of countless replays in the tabletop sports gaming community. So definitely big shout out, big props to him. And this, he actually re uploaded this on March 2nd, but I just discovered it the other day, me being me. And again, in my defense, it's not the easiest thing to find necessarily in the community, even if it's a smaller one. But I mean, on whatever on the internet. You have to be looking for it in order to find it. So I'm really glad that I don't know. I can't remember exactly specifically how I came across it. Somewhere in the forums, I think Tabletopian or the penalty box. But I'm so glad that I finally did. Long story short, and or short story made long. Really, that was longer than necessary. But anyway, I'm going to take this out of the envelope again, and let's all act surprised. Because of course I did do the unsleeving, the revealing here in a previous video, and I guess what I would like to do, that again, sometimes the bloody obvious doesn't occur to me when I make a video, and I think about it after the fact, and I don't know, it's just that self-conscious thing, but like I could even have said what the teams were in the WHL in the 1963. I mean, I have them right here. And in case they aren't as easy for you to see as they are for me, and again, I don't have to get into a big, biography about the league and pretend to know more than I know anyway, or anything like that. I certainly don't have to do anything like that, and I won't. But like, this league featured the Vancouver Canucks, for instance, before they featured into the NHL. The Los Angeles Blades, one team that I have a particular personal interest in, and probably more on that will be revealed in a video in the hopefully not too distant future. And I should point out as well that I think I would like to use this similar to what I'm doing with Blue Zone Hockey and Status Pro Hockey for my 1924-25 NHL season replay, where I've decided to play the bulk of the games with Blue Zone and then the marquee and championship games with Status Pro Hockey. I think with the 1962-63 WHL replay, not in the immediate future, but in the, not in the too distant future either, hopefully in the fairly foreseeable future, I could play the bulk of the games with the quicker playing dock hockey, because I have this season and these teams and players for the game dock hockey. And so I could use that faster playing game to get through the majority of the season. And then for the big time games and championship games, go with the longer playing Pairadice hockey. But yeah, again, you have the Vancouver Canucks, the Los Angeles Blades, the Seattle Totems. Of course, the Totems, that name was in the running to name the Seattle team that eventually became the Kraken. But the Totems as a nickname, as a team name in Seattle, there's a history there. The Edmonton Flyers, before the Philadelphia Flyers, of course, because this is 63, not 67. The San Francisco Seals, Calgary Stampeders. I don't know enough about the CFL to know which one predated the other. and the Spokane comments. And of course, Ron, if you're listening to this, shout out to you. This is your Portland Buckaroos here of 1962-63. And this is something, again, it was just re-uploaded on March 2nd there, according to Andy Lewis. I'm not sure if it was available elsewhere in the interim at the time, but I'm really, really grateful to have discovered this the other day. And so I got this, I ended up having a bit of more free time there at the end of my day, or ended up getting home a little earlier, almost home a little earlier than I thought I was going to, off transit and whatnot. So I went and got a couple of reasonably thick colored prints of these teams, and then this is the third page of the document, and this one here, just to save a few pennies, I just had this printed in black and white on normal thin paper, but it shows all the teams and all the records there. So again, you have the Vancouver Canucks, Seattle Totems, Edmonton Flyers, Calgary Stampeders, Portland Buckaroos, San Francisco Seals, Los Angeles Blades, and the Spokane Comets. And I guess the Lester Patrick Trophy would have been the Stanley Cup equivalent for that league. And it's got some rules here, but the team's playing one sudden death overtime, 5 minutes only. Like today, although I'm pretty sure it would have been 5-5 then. And teams trust 14 players and 2 goaltenders. That sounds good to me. Usually 9 forwards and 5 defensemen. I like that. I might go 9-4, and then a 5th or 6th defenseman / rover kind of player. We'll see what happens. And it has the head coaches here as well, and I recognize a couple of these names. Bud Poyle, that would be the same Bud Poyle I'm pretty sure that I had in my 1946-47 NHL full season replay that I did with Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey. And the reason why I qualify that with pretty sure is because I said in the previous take as well, this was Marty Howe, who would figure later into the WHA. Marty Howe was born in 1954, and this is a 1962-63 season set. So, we all know Gordie Howe is Mr. Hockey and how amazing he was. And his son, Mark Howe, was also no slouch through the 80s in the Philadelphia Flyers, and then even a pretty effective player into the mid-90s with the Detroit Red Wings there at the tail end of his career in the NHL. And of course, he was a star in the WHA prior to his days with Philadelphia. But I don't think, Marty Howe, age 8-9, would have played in the WHL then, or we'd still be talking about that more. Obviously, I'm just being ridiculous. So it's just a coincidence. Anyway, so this one's, oh goodness, it's only about 30 seconds shorter. So even when I try to speed up, to cut down on talk time, I just end up, gabbering more, as I like to say, to fuse a couple of words about what I do here. And that's Orville Tessier, coach for Chicago Blackhawks, I believe, through the 80s. They're a good, strong team that they had, and someone mentioned him in a comment as well. And either, I can't remember if it was in the forum or one of my videos, it might have been both. Anyway, this is definitely enough out of me for the time being, so bye for now.